A year ago today, LeBron passed MJ for fourth on the all-time scoring list. He is now third on the all-time list behind only Karl Malone and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. LeBron was asked about being one of the favorites for MVP in his 17th season, and he had this interesting response.
Regular season MVP has never motivated me. To be the best to ever play the game has motivated me and has resulted in me being able to be league MVP a couple times. But I've never gone into the season saying, okay, league MVP is what I want to be. I've gone into the season saying, okay, I want to be the MVP of this team. I want to be the best player in the world.
In many sports, GOAT is subjective. This is objective, and it's not close. You want to argue that career value, if you're drafting players, you want to win as many games as possible. LeBron's number one, that's an easy argument. He passed Kareem already there. Like, LeBron is the guy, career value. But that's not what we're talking about when we say the GOAT. It's the height that you attained, provided you maintained that height for a reasonable length of time.
He's done that.
Michael Jordan is the all-time leader in points per game. Not for his era or something, no, all-time. In the playoffs, it went up. He's the all-time leader there, too. PER, which is an efficiency stat offensively, he is the all-time leader. And LeBron is in decline, so he'll never catch him. In the playoffs, it goes up. So he's the all-time leader there, too. He was a 9-time All-NBA first-team defender, including Defensive Player of the Year. He's 6-0 in championships, all by knockout. No one went the distance. No one went 7 games. And before you talk about competition, the second three-peat, he knocked out a 60-win Shaq Penny team on the way to knocking out a 64-win Supersonics team. Everyone calm down.
Nobody's excited about you.
I mean, like in his prime, it's really not close. And let me finally address this narrative that he needed to learn how to beat the Pistons the same way LeBron. Do you understand Michael Jordan didn't play with a single other All-Star until Scottie Pippen's first All-Star appearance, where he was pre-prime. Check the numbers, eyeball test, contemporaries. He was getting there, but he took a leap the next year. And in that Game 7 against the Pistons, the first time Jordan played with another All-Star, just one other All-Star. In Game 7 against the Pistons, Pippen had a migraine, played 2 minutes, so they fell in Game 7. Had Pippen been healthy, they would have won that game too. And then Pippen reached his prime. And once Jordan had another prime great player with him, he never didn't win the title again in under 7 games. So if he's better offensively, better defensively, better under pressure, what's the argument?
You have a good position, but all your arguments are trash.
I mean, look, I understand the ballot box stuff and argument that the youngsters are going to become older people, and then they're going to dictate what the decision is, and then they're going to remember LeBron. And I tell you, like 10 years ago, I was like, look, LeBron's the best player I've ever seen. You could go through all the stats and come up with all the advantages that LeBron had. You could point to efficiency and be like, how many things did he actually do better, da-da-da. Then all you got to do is go on YouTube and look up Michael Jordan, and then this is over. Like, I ain't really got to rattle off no whole bunch of statistics for you and talking about who is the greatest player of all time. It is Michael Jordan. What can LeBron do? Become Michael Jordan, right? He can get in the Michael Jackson video and do one of them shape shifts and turn into Michael Jordan, and then all of a sudden he can be the best player of all time. For basketball, Jordan is Babe Ruth, where you start the list right there. Like, you think about in football, there are running backs that have done incredible things since Jim Brown. You can point to those LaDainian Tomlinson seasons with 27 touchdowns and Marshall Faulk, 1,000 yards this, 1,000 yards that, all of that. But ain't none of them Jim Brown. Like, none of that actually matters. And whenever you look at Mike and look at him within the context of the time that he played in a renaissance of the NBA, and he walked into the league in 1984, maybe not the best player in that day, but by 88, he's the best player in the league.
By 86, he was the best player in the league.
The Jim Brown argument is an interesting one because I'm not sure if you went around asking people who's the best running back of all time, I'm not sure anybody or very many people are going to say Jim Brown. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Who's not?
I'm thinking, well, we'll go do it on the street after this and we'll see who people come up with. But your argument about him playing with all-stars, like I feel like the same thing could be said for LeBron. The league is different. When LeBron got stopped early in his career, it was going up against collections of all-stars.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh got stopped.
I know. He got stopped there against another collection of all-stars. I just think that it's not.
One great player.
Kawhi.
I'm talking about the Dirk Nowitzki Mavs.
Yeah, but let's be fair to LeBron on here. He did drag the 2007 Cleveland Cavaliers to the NBA Finals. That is one of the most incredible feats that anybody's pulled off.
He's done a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
that's what makes it tricky with LeBron. Right. But the tricky thing with LeBron is he did so many crazy, impressive things while his teams weren't winning, right? So like this triple-doubles in the finals during the matchups against the Warriors. Those are bananas. The team didn't win, right? The fact that they even won 2 games against the Warriors in 2015 with Kyrie and Kevin Love hurt, but they didn't win. And Jordan has the ultimate winning all the time thing.
Can take less farther than anyone ever, right? That is one way of measuring it, and he has more career value than anyone ever. Michael Jordan provided a legitimate chance to win, never lost, and never came close to losing, ever. One All-Star. Give Michael Jordan 1 All-Star. It's over.
Right, but
it's over. Now, let's go. Hold on.
LeBron was going up against multiple teams.
No. That actually, we could go team for team. When he lost to the Mavs, the Heat were favored. They had more All-Stars. They lost. Jordan, and he was giving it up in the fourth quarter. Never that with Jordan. Even look at things like, if you want to talk about Michael Jordan's sneakers outsell LeBron's 10-1.
Okay.
It's 35 years ago.
Oh, okay. That means you've gone far enough. We can't talk about we talk about shoes right now.
No. You were the one who brought that up. You were talking about Jim Brown is cementing GOAT status, isn't that?
But I wasn't talking about nobody wearing no Air Jim Browns. Like, this is the best point in Michael Jordan's favor. Michael Jordan played in an era where the rules were built around centers dominating, right? So you have the Pistons, and Isaiah Thomas is their best player, but that was still primarily built on interior strength. They built a championship dynasty run 6 out of 8 years around a perimeter player, which changed the whole face of the game to the point where the rules were augmented and changed to make it to where the perimeter players were the stars in that way. The idea that you could build around a 6'6" player in 1991 and win a championship is the biggest thing on Jordan's side.
Here's the thing about GOAT. It's greatest. It's not best of all time. So every top 10 sprinter in the world today would dust Jesse Owens. How many are as great? That's the Jim Brown. But the reason I bring up sneaker sales is because however you want to slice it, in terms of this status as a global icon, in terms of what they contributed to the sport, to popular culture, to the levels they attained on the court, it's Jordan. And by the way, I think he's also the best of all time.
I'm trying to be on your side, but then you had to go and do that, right? That was the tiebreaker. Dominique, you win by default.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.